think you're good.
Okay, we're going to try this again.
Maybe just see if everyone can see you. Hello, Facebook world. We're just checking the speed here. Do we sound okay?
Yeah, can we have some feedback on how the video is operating here? We may have to go to another
Device.
system or device. Can someone write in the chat how this is working, please, and thank you.
Yeah, they can hear.
No. Did you pick up chat already?
It said yes, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
coming through online.
Hmm.
Yeah, they can hear us.
I just wonder perhaps if I turn my chat off, if I can on this. Or should we
No, you're
just
fine.
proceed?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, that's all of them coming in.
Okay, just wait for a moment, or if you wish to, Jen, you're the host if you wish.
Well, I don't know how much of the host I am tonight. Hung has so graciously lent us her store again, so thank you. Hello, everybody. So yeah, maybe just to start with this conversation about upgrading and just preparing the physical vessel with what we were here to do tonight. And Rick sent that little bit of homework assignment for everyone to sort of practice and, you know, and perhaps some of you just intuitively knew that already. That was one of the things. It's so funny because I think sometimes we look for validation. It's like we second guess, you know, what is really already the knowledge that's within us. And then Rick sent that over and he's like, because I had a really kind of crappy week and a half here, as a lot of dense energies and working through that. And I feel really disconnected. I don't feel connected. And, you know, I'm just being in Vancouver and we didn't have the sunshine. I need the sun to connect. I need the clouds to connect. That's my space. And he's just like, Jen, just go and do this. And Stan is just like, oh my gosh, that's what I already do. And it's just, so we, you know, that's the nice thing is that, you know, through these gatherings and when you're hosting gatherings in your own cities and towns, you're going to get these affirmations and the reaffirmations from your fellow, you know, brothers and sisters and teachers, and they're just going to let you know that yes, what you know innately inside of you is your truth, and this is real, and we just need to step into that ownership and to believe. And by doing that, we are just encouraging others to believe in their gifts and to believe in their sovereignty and to believe in their divinity and all the beautiful magical powers that we have and that we came here with. So thank you to Rick for helping in this process, as of course, and as always. Maybe we just all can connect into the primary ascension timelines right now and connect into our oversoul, into our higher selves, bringing that down through the portal of our heart, connecting with the Christ consciousness, with the Divine Mother consciousness, and bringing that up, and then bringing and sharing that all over everyone here, everyone who's watching, and I turn it to you.
Well, thank you, Jen. That was so cool. I could feel your energy when you were just doing that. That was awesome.
Can I tilt this down so we can see more of your face?
Yeah, I had it up so that we could get Jen because she
Yeah.
was standing up.
Oh,
I
okay,
could have
sorry.
stood up.
Sorry,
I guess.
Jen.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, I'm going to go over here.
Thanks so much, Jen. And I wish to thank Hung once again for offering this facility, her store, for us to gather. And so great thanks for that. And to Hung. And great thanks to all that came again. So we have, I don't know, perhaps 20, I believe. So it's great. And as I said before, for anyone else doing your gatherings, if one comes, that is perfect. If 500 comes, that is perfect. It's always the right amount, and divinity does assure who should be there is there. So never have any expectations. If any of you are having gatherings, you just do it, and it is amazing. So I thank everyone with that, and get right to it. Okay, why we are here. I believe Jen covered most of that, but mostly everyone knows, why we're here, perhaps anyway. But with these gatherings and what I have begun to do, and others as well, is we're taking this to higher levels than anything before. So this is actually unprecedented what we are actually doing. Over the course of times, there have been spiritual ceremonies and different ceremonies to enlighten and to empower. Uh, but they were, all excellent, but they were done at, let's say, the energetics at those times were not what they are now. So we are in higher energetics, and all of you that are aware of that and are connected to it, it means that everything now is enhanced, and we are opening constantly doors to magic, doors to your individual gifts, and it's again precedented, and it's nothing like it was before. Now, having said that, there are some that will not even see this, what is occurring, and that is because of at least one reason. It's not for them at this time. And an example of that, you can go out and see your ships, and there may be someone standing beside you and they will not see it. And it's because of many things, mostly your multi-dimensional abilities. But it's not to say that in a week's time they will not see it as well. Everyone are at different stages in their awakening and their development. So on these timelines, on this present one, where we are at now, many more are awakening. But we are not restricted to this one timeline. And actually, when magic begins, perhaps 20 minutes out of your day, sometimes you are actually, on a, let's say, a different timeline, and the energetics is different. You are not restricted to this one reality. Like you see vehicles going behind there. We're not restricted to that. And the more you empower yourself and build yourself up, the more you will have the wild, cool experiences confirming that. Okay, I'll stop rambling on that aspect. Okay, so we're here because it is very important for your energetic fields to come into contact. As I mentioned earlier today, each one has an energetic field that, for the most part now, it has grown with the more powerful ones. Your aura, if you will, or your fields extend outward all around you, perhaps 4 to 6 feet. It depends on how energized you are. But also with that energy now, there are many transfers that go on back and forth on an energetic level. So just by being in proximity to each other, there are more things happening, upgrades, gifts, divine gifts being enhanced. It's a whole page full of good stuff and exciting stuff and even magical stuff. So, so it's important, yeah, that we all do gather at this time, and also more, and more so another aspect of that is that when we do gather, we raise the vibration and the energetics, and there's a lot of things that go on, like opening portals and reflecting the change also out in these realities that we are in. So it is pertinent for the gatherings to grow and keep going on. And also, again, and it's because we're not restricted to what you see out there, that mundane 9-to-5 job, seeing pain and suffering every day, poverty, and these sort of things. We are here in the least to change that, and that's why you are empowered beyond anything in the past with that, and we don't stop, and you become you become each day becoming more stronger and powerful and able to affect the outside realities that you see in many ways. And let me say that there is an individual basis with this, dependent on each one's soul contract, if I may, that, you know, some may stay on these timelines and change their reality within these timelines, but there may be others that will just keep rising and creating new timelines where everything is different and into the magical realms and so forth. So again, you're not restricted to this one reality. You do have a choice, and the choice again is with you and what you decide to do and how much you wish to empower yourself. But again, with that, there's not all free will, meaning that, for example, if I wanted to leave right now, I could not. I'm not allowed, if you will. So you are here to fulfill your purposes and your missions, and when that is accomplished, you know, then you have your rewards of going where you do wish to go, and that is ascertained divinely. I can tell that to you, but perhaps some of you have received your own confirmations, and you may not fully know it as truth, but at least you feel it for now, and you keep building that and believing and trusting in the main things as a Godhead or a higher power, and believe in your love and keep connected to that to the fullest. And when you do that, you began empowering yourself and raising higher. Your memory comes back of your existences of, you know, not all times. It's so much information there to integrate within the humanoid brain, but at least you're giving fragments of your other existences and as confirmations. But you know, it's not particular or specific to any confirmation. There's there's a huge array to what you will receive. So let's see what else I have written here. Yeah, the time is now to affect your realities, and I more so also just got into that a bit ago, that yeah, you can affect this reality if you wish and keep changing little things to make it more favorable for you, or you can become a part with others creating the higher realities as well. So again, you're not restricted, and to this, because of divinely what is happening, this is the ascension. It's unprecedented. You can take your vessels, your bodies you have now, through other dimensions, and each one of you is preparing your bodies to do that. So there is a process with it, and it's in conjunction with the overall vibration of the planet that allows it to occur. So, but having said that, you know, it was a lengthy process for many of you and many discomforts, but we are at the level now to, well, we have really breached through that ceiling. There was a major ceiling we come through since the 12th, the last few days. So we have breached that. You're up here, you're getting breathing space, and ready to do the new things, what resonate with you in respect to your individual purposes, your reason why you feel you are here. It is strongly suggested and encouraged to fulfill what you feel is your purpose from your heart, because that is most in line and most favorable with your divine direction here in the short term. Everything is temporary, and it also depends upon you to a degree. Again, as I said, you don't have full free will, but it's best to put your free will into the divine plan. In your, what you feel in your heart is your reason for being here, and trust and go with that. And it's possible that some of you now may have 9-to-5 jobs, but in the blink of an eye, that can all change. And we are in these most wonderful times to do that. Part of the mission here is to, and purpose is to change these lower realities before we move on. We are securing what you could consider a human playground where the veil will stay intact for many of these human souls that are here, because it's not their time to ascend, it's not in their soul contract. They wish to continue to have a human experience. But for the other ones that have chosen to go, well, you ascend and you rise up, getting the inner knowing, preparing your vessels and into the other dimensions and all that cool stuff. So how long have I been talking? 15 minutes. I said, wow, I got to get through this quick then. I said 20 minutes. Okay, so keep energizing yourselves up. That supports, it's divinely supported, but it also supports more of the magic. So it's very important times to work on yourselves, empowering yourselves to the extremes if you wish. So go ahead with that. Okay, just quickly to let everyone know, I did open a portal myself behind the frog a few days ago, and just to power it up and give more energy out here. And these are important with connecting the higher dimensions, the etheric realms, into this now as well. So there's much knowledge that comes through, and it emanates outward, and others are affected, and even this community subconsciously will be affected to higher degrees. They will begin to change as a result of that. And this is not wishful thinking. This is truth. I know what I am. I know what I do. And yeah, so it's truth. Gifts, and I put up a little bit about parapsychology because this is important as well. All the ESP, if you will, all of these gifts, they are divine as well. So over the course of the years, for each one of you, from time to time, you were interested in some aspect of that, and for very good reasons, and preparing you for this time, so at least you had some inner knowledge about the gifts. And what's occurring with these gifts, you will be utilizing these as well to higher extents in doing your divine work. Let me say that you may think you have no gifts right now, but I strongly suggest to know that you do. The moment you think you don't, where you are a creator, you will restrict those gifts. So at all costs, always keep positive and do not think like a human anymore. You are more than that, and to become more than that in good ways, you must think differently. So with that, these gifts, at least, intelligence agencies, CIA, even schools, recognized ones on your other timelines and in the past that had these gifts, and they would use them or use the individuals that had them. And I have spoken with, let's say, more than several that have come out of some of these programs. They are my friends, and it is very real, how more or less too, they were imprisoned by CIA or something of the sort, so that their gifts could be utilized in other things. But that means little now. What the reason I brought it up, it accreditates these ones, and also to share with you that it's very real. Remote viewing gifts, telekinesis, telepathy, it's all very real. You all have these gifts and you have access to it. So again, I strongly suggest you open up to it and say, no, you don't have them. Or don't say, no, you don't have them, and say you do. And it opens them up quicker. And you'll amaze yourselves once you do that under the right conditions. All right, crystals are very important again at this time. Some of you have maybe come across under unusual circumstances. A crystal come to you, very important, keep them close at this time. I suggest keep your eyes on them. You may see some magic within your crystals as well. This is divinely pending and it could occur at any time. Conditions are ripe, fairies are here more prominently, and Hung and I had a conversation with one here in the store several nights ago, and which was very good. I could see her out of my peripheral vision, and got one good glimpse to identify her. But looking straight at her, I could not. My abilities visually see her, but my energy was there, that I knew she was right there, and we did have a discussion. And at our last gathering, there was a lady that she can actually visually see the fairies. So, and and it is very real. Yeah, it's not mythical. It's not any of that. It's very real, and this is becoming more of our reality as well. As we keep going higher, we entertain and bring in mythological aspects. Anything that you could ever think of that was magical and created, we can bring it to life now more so than ever. So very beautiful times in that. And it keeps it fun, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more exciting. Why we still do our perhaps tedious in the past divine tasks and fulfill our purposes. So crystals, yeah, keep them close. Keep an eye on them too. You might have some fun with them. What else do I have here? Yeah, when you open the portals, I put out an exercise on the Facebook timeline several days ago, and that is very important. But you use that same exercise to open portals, and do this outdoors. Do not do it indoors. It's more effective to do it outdoors. You open portals with the intent for the good of all, but you can assign to the portal, for example, the one I opened the other day, to raise the consciousness in this area.